haven't talked to you guys in a long time. Well, with the Halloween videos and the extra special video I just did before this one, check it out. I just feel like I haven't connected with you guys at all. And I do see that there's some new people here. Thank you and welcome. Please feel free to hit that like button, the share button. Please comment. I love connecting with people. And I do try to reply to everyone. And definitely hit that subscribe button. It just helps the channel to grow. And those of you that are returning and I see you, thank you so much. You guys make this worthwhile. Like, you keep telling me how much I give you, but you guys give me so much more. It's part of why we're a community. And speaking of community, just a reminder that I am doing a card exchange, either postcards or holiday cards. I celebrate Christmas, so that's what I'll be sending out. But whatever you celebrate, please send me a card for that. My P.O. box is in the description below. Just click on that more button and it'll give you the description. Okay? So, that's out of the way. You know what I feel like I haven't done in forever is a read to you video. And we're going to do that tonight, and I'll just give the new people an update on how we do this. But first, I want to tell you guys, I did order a new book, and I'm just waiting for it to come in. I love Christmas. I just love it. And yes, I can't wait for it to get started, so I'm going to start it. But this book is the story behind the popular Christmas carols, which I thought, that's awesome. I love knowing the stories behind things. In fact, I'm going to get a small booklet of the story behind 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And I'll read that the night before Christmas, so that you guys all know that story, because it's really quite touching. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And the other thing is, let's get everybody settled and ready to be read to so you can get to sleep, okay? I'm going to try to do this video in whispers, and going to be reading another Chicken Soup for the Soul book story from there for you new people. First, we're going to have a relaxation exercise and a breathing to calm our bodies. What we do is every time that we want to calm ourselves, whether it's for rest, for relaxation, to calm ourselves from an anxiety attack starting up, if we start panicking, or when we just need that moment to ourselves, when the boss is driving us crazy, when the co-workers are driving us crazy, when the kids are driving us crazy, when anybody's driving us crazy, and we need that moment just to refocus and recenter. This is what we do. And we do a breathing exercise. But before we do that, let's get our room the way we want it. Okay? So the first thing, get your lighting the way you like it. And that can be lots of light, little bit of light, sliver of light. You can wear a sleep mask if you want. The only thing, Aunty Angel only has one rule: no lit candles. Not when you're trying to sleep, guys. It's too dangerous. Feel free, use the battery operated candles. I love them. And you can get them super cheap at the dollar store, on Amazon, Walmart, just, you know. The other thing is, once you get the lighting the way that you want it, get yourself comfortable. Put on what you want to wear. Lay on what you want to wear, on what is the clench and release. So when I say 3, I want you to clench every muscle in your body, your jaw, your shoulders, everything. And then when I say release, you let everything go. Just let it all go. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. Clench. Clench it. Clench. Clench. And release. Let it go. Very good. Now get yourselves comfy. Get ready. I'm going to start the reading, okay? Sorry that I won't be looking up at the screen, but I need my glasses. So, and I don't want the ring light to glare. Alright, so here we go. Alright, let's try. What's this one? Who you are makes a difference. And the quotation is, most of us swimming against the tides of trouble the world knows nothing about need only a bit of peace or encouragement, and so will make the goal. Jerome Fleshman. Okay. That one they printed very faint, so it's harder to read. The rest is easier. So I shall begin, and I hope this story speaks to you. A teacher in New York decided to honor her seniors in high school by telling them the difference they each made. Using a process developed by Elise Bridges of Del Mar, California, she called each student to the front of the class, one at a time. First, she told them they made a difference to her and her class. Then she presented each of them with a blue ribbon imprinted with the gold letters that read, "Who I am makes a difference." Afterwards, the teacher decided to do a class project to see what kind of impact recognition would have on a community. She gave each of the students 3 more ribbons and instructed them to go out and spread the acknowledgement ceremony. Then they were to follow up on the results, see who honored whom, and report back to the class in about a week. One of the boys in the class went to a junior executive in a nearby company and honored him for helping him with his career planning. He gave him a blue ribbon and put it on his shirt. Then he gave him 2 extra ribbons, and he said, "We're doing a class project on recognition, and we'd like you to go out, find someone to honor, and give them a blue ribbon. Then give them the extra blue ribbon so they can acknowledge a 3rd person to keep this acknowledgement ceremony going. Then please report back to me and tell me what happened." Later that day, the junior executive went in to see his boss, who had been noted, by the way, as being kind of a grouchy guy. He sat his boss down and told him that he deeply admired him for being a creative genius. The boss seemed very surprised. The junior executive asked him if he would accept the gift of the blue ribbon and give him permission to put it on him. The surprised boss said, "Well, of course." The junior executive took the blue ribbon and placed it right on the boss's jacket above his heart. He then gave him the last extra ribbon and said, "Please do me the favor. Would you take this extra ribbon and pass it on to somebody else to honor? The young boy who first gave me the ribbons is doing a project in school, and we want to keep this recognition ceremony going and find out how it affects people." That night, the boss went home to his 14-year-old son and sat him down. He said, "The most incredible thing happened to me today. I was in my office, and one of the junior executives came in and said that he admired me, and he gave me a blue ribbon for being a creative genius. Imagine. He thinks I'm a creative genius. Then he put this blue ribbon that says, 'Who I am makes a difference' on my jacket. He gave me an extra ribbon and asked me to find someone else to honor. As I was driving home tonight, I started thinking about whom I would like to honor with the ribbon. And I thought about you. I want to honor you. My days are really hectic, and when I come home, don't pay a lot of attention to you. Sometimes I yell at you for not getting good enough grades in school or for having your bedroom be a mess. But somehow tonight I just wanted to sit here and, well, just to let you know that you make a difference to me. Besides your mother, you are the most important person in my life. You're a great kid and I love you. The startled boy started to sob and sob. He couldn't stop crying. His whole body shook. He looked up at his father and he said through his tears, "I was planning on committing suicide tomorrow, Dad, because I didn't think I was loved. Now I don't need to, and I need help. Elise Bridges." Wow, guys, that was powerful. And I hope you guys know that I believe you make a difference. You matter in the world. You always have and you always will. My world is better because you're in it. My tomorrows are better because you're in it. And please, please, please don't ever forget that. Okay, shall we read another one? Okay, let's try. What's this one? This one is called A Simple Gesture. Back to the specs. Everybody can be great because anyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Martin Luther King Jr. Mark was walking home from school one day when he noticed the boy ahead of him had tripped and he dropped all of the books he was carrying, along with 2 sweaters, a baseball bat, a glove, and a small tape recorder. Mark bent down and he helped the boy pick up the scattered articles. Since they were going on their way, he helped him carry them. As they walked, Mark discovered the boy's name was Bill, and that he loved video games, baseball, and history. That he was having a lot of trouble with his other subjects. Oh, and then he'd just broken up with his girl. They arrived at Bill's home first, and Mark was invited in for a Coke and to watch some TV. The afternoon passed pleasantly with a few laughs and some shared small talk. Then Mark went home. They committed to see each other around school and have lunch together. They ended up at the same high school where they had brief contacts over the years. Finally, the long-awaited senior year came, and 3 weeks before graduation, Bill asked Mark if they could talk. Bill reminded him of that day years ago when they first met. "Did you ever wonder why I was carrying so many things with me that day?" said Bill. "You see, I cleaned out my locker because I didn't want to leave a mess for anyone. I had stored away some of my mom's sleeping pills, and I was going home to commit suicide. But after we spent time together, talking and laughing, I realized if I had killed myself, I would have missed that time, and so many others that were going to follow. So you see, Mark, when you picked up my books that day, you did a lot more. You saved my life. John W. Schlatter." Okay, there's no way I could have picked 2 topics the same, randomly. This book is not filled with these kind of stories. These are the first 2. So that means I need you guys to understand. You were put in this world for a reason. We didn't come from a cookie cutter factory. You were chosen to be here because you make it a better place. And things can be hard and tough, but you're not alone. And you know that because you're part of the ASMR community. You're looking for ways to feel better. And you've come to the right place. You've come to a community where we love and support each other. And please know that, you guys. You matter. You make a difference. Now, I'm going to try this one more time. And I'm going to pick from a completely different place. Let's see what we get, shall we? Okay. All right. Run, Patty, run. Pat was my dad's name. That's my little godwink today. Okay. Follow your passion and success will follow you. Terry Caldwell, I think it says. At a young and tender age, Patty Wilson was told by her doctor that she was epileptic. Her father, Jim Wilson, is a morning jogger. One day, she smiled through her teenage braces and said, "Daddy, what I'd really love to do is run with you every day, but I'm so afraid I'll have a seizure." Her father said, "Well, if you do, I know how to handle it, so let's just start running." And that's what they did every day. It was a wonderful experience for them to share, and there were no seizures at all while she was running. After a few weeks, she told her dad, "Daddy, what I'd really love to do is break the world's long-distance running record for women." Her father checked the Guinness Book of World Records and found that the fastest any woman had run was the farthest was 80 miles. As a freshman in high school, Patty announced, "I'm going to run from Orange County up to San Francisco, a distance of 400 miles. As a sophomore," she went on, "I'm going to run to Portland, Oregon, over 1,500 miles. As a junior, I'll run to St. Louis. That's about 2,000 miles. And as a senior, I'm going to run to the White House, more than 3,000 miles away." In view of her handicap, Patty was as ambitious as she was enthusiastic. But she said she looked at the handicap of being an epileptic as simply an inconvenience. She focused not on what she had lost, but what she had left. That year, she completed her run to San Francisco, wearing a t-shirt that read, "I love epileptics." Her dad ran every mile at her side, and her mom, a nurse, followed in a motorhome behind them just in case. In her sophomore year, Patty's classmates got behind her. They built a giant poster that read, "Run, Patty, run." This has since become her motto and the title of a book she has written. On her second marathon, en route to Portland, she fractured a bone in her foot. A doctor told her she had to stop running. He said, "I've got to put a cast on your ankle so that you don't do any permanent damage." "Doc," she said, "you don't understand. This isn't just a whim. It's a magnificent obsession. I'm not just doing it for me. I'm doing this to break the chains on the brains that limit so many others. There has to be a way that I can keep running." He gave her one option. He could wrap it in an adhesive instead of putting it in a cast. He warned her it would be incredibly painful, and he told her it will blister. She told the doc, "Wrap it up." She finished the run to Portland, completing her last mile with the governor of Oregon. You may have seen the headlines. "Super runner Patty Wilson ends marathon for epilepsy on her 17th birthday." After 4 months of almost continuous running from the West Coast to the East Coast, Patty arrived in Washington and she shook the hand of the President of the United States. She told them, "I wanted people to know that epileptics are normal human beings with normal lives." I told this story at one of my seminars not long ago, and afterwards a big teary-eyed man came up to me. He stuck out his meaty hand and he said, "Mark, my name is Jim Wilson. You were talking about my daughter Patty. Because of her noble efforts," he told me, "enough money has been raised to open up 19 multi-million-dollar epilepsy centers around the country. If Patty Wilson can do so much with so little, what can we do to outperform ourselves in a state of total wellness?" Mark Victor Hansen. Okay, I like that story because it is true. Maybe we do have some limitations, and maybe they're just inconveniences. I talk about our mental health issues a lot, and we aren't broken. We aren't. It's part of who we are, and we learn to maneuver our lives with them. You know, there's ways to get help, absolutely. You know, I push people for that. But there's nothing to be ashamed of. There is no stigma, or there shouldn't be. So that's enough of that for tonight. Now I want you guys to get some sleep. You deserve to get some sleep and some rest. And to always know that I love you. I value you. I